Hello everyone and welcome to the OctaFX live quiz. My name is Ambrose Ebuka, and before I go ahead, to give you the details of what this quiz is all about, let me know your name and where you're watching me from in the comment section. So go ahead and type your name and where you're watching me from in the comments. So today's quiz will consist of 10 amazing questions, and these questions would revolve around Forex trading, right? So go ahead and type your name and where you're watching me from in the comments section. Let's see who we have. Emmanuel from Nigeria, Ifeanyi Daniel from Nigeria, Chidubim from Niue, David from Abuja, Alex from Onitsha, Olusanya from Oyo, Kofi from Ghana, Valentine from Lagos, Arista from Makurdi, Linus Ogochukwu from Nigeria, Dennis from Port Harcourt, Silas from Ondo. Okay. Monday from Lagos, Ibrahim from Kaduna. Welcome every one of you. Like I said, today's quiz will consist of 10 amazing questions that would revolve around Forex, and we also have amazing bonuses for you guys. The most active participants with the highest number of correct answers will receive $100 to apply knowledge and practice, and everyone else will get a super cool trading guiding PDF. So if you took part in this live quiz and you're active and you answer my questions in the chat, and you want to answer most of my questions, then you stand a chance to receive $100 to apply your knowledge and practice. And you can also get a super cool trading guide in PDF if you stay active on this live quiz and answer my questions in the chat or in the comments. Then you'd get your PDF handbook via email once the quiz is over. Okay, so I'm still looking at the comments. Samuel Ajayi from Ekiti, Martinez from Cross River State. Okay, guys, so you can also share this live so that this live stream or this live Forex quiz, so that you invite your friends to participate as well. It's really amazing and it's really awesome to learn with friends. Okay, so if you're ready, go ahead and type in the chat box, I am ready. So if you're ready, go ahead and type in the chat box, I am ready. Also, guys, the quiz will be made up of 2 parts, right? So the first part is where I ask you questions and get your answers. And, the second part would be where I show you the questions, reveal the right answers, and also give you some explanations so that you understand better. Okay, since we're ready, we're just going to go ahead and dive right in for the first part. All right, so the first question: in a currency pair, which currency is the counter currency? Now, before I go ahead to call out the options, if you know the answers, you can indicate which question you're answering, right? So, for example, if number 1 is D or E or F, you can just type number 1 D or number 1 E or number 1 F in the comments. If you know the right answers, right? So always indicate the number you're answering, the question you're answering. So number 1, in a currency pair, which currency is the counter currency? A, both currencies, B, the first currency, and C, the second currency. So if you know the answer, go ahead and type the answer in the comments. Godwin Light says C. Abel says number 1 is C. Femi Joshua says number 1 C. Wasiu says number 1 A. God's Time Monday says number 1 C. Chinedu Moses says number 1 B. Obugo1 says number 1 is A. Someone is already answering for number 2. Wow. Anselm says number 1 is C. Mayina says number 1 is A. Well, this is why you'd have to stay around or stick around for part 2, where I would reveal the right answers to these questions and also give you explanations as well. So we're going to the next question, question number 2. So to go short in Forex means, what does it mean to go short in Forex? Is it A, to close an open trade, B, to buy, or C, to sell? What does it mean to go short in Forex? To close an open trade, to buy, or to sell? Let me know the answer in the comments. Silas Simon says number 2 is C. Adetayo says 2 is C. Godwin says 2 is C. Okay. Monday says 2 is C. Ayokunle says 2 is A. Oluwafemi Ajayi says 2 is C. Obugo1 says 2 is C. Arista Ali says 2 is C. Well, good luck to you guys. We'll find out the right answer in part 2. So the third question. All these are abbreviations for trading indicators, except A, ATR, B, VIP, and C, RSI. All these are abbreviations for trading indicators except ATR, VIP, or RSI. Which one do you think it is? Go ahead and type the answer in the comments. Aditayo says 3 is B. Samuel Damilari says 3 is A. Chinedu Moses says 3 is B. Ekundayo says 3 is A. Bello Umar says 3 is C. Santos says 3 is B. Ifeanyi Daniel says 3 is B. Success Christopher says 3 is B. Martinez says 3 is B. Well, good luck. Like I said, we'll find out the correct answer for this currency. Kiwi is the nickname for which currency? A, pound. B, Canadian dollar. C, New Zealand dollar. The nickname Kiwi is for which currency? Pound, Canadian dollar, or New Zealand dollar? Let me know the answer in the comments. Okay, Ayokunle Kayode says number 4 is C. Success Christopher says number 4 is B. Linus Ugochukwu says number 4 is B. Oluwaseun Joshua says number 4 is A. Marvelous Opara says number 4 is C. Abdullahi says number 4 is B. Bello Umar says number 4 is B. Ifeanyi Daniel says number 4 is B. Ahmed Baba Ola says number 4 is C. Miracle Christopher says number 4 is C. Kayode Baron says number 4 is C. Ifeanyi Daniel says number 4 is B. Alright guys, only one of these options can be correct, and you would find out the correct answer in part 2. So stick around. Question number 5. Which of these is a well-known indicator of inflation? Which of these is a well-known indicator of inflation? A, non-farm payroll, NFP. B, consumer price index, CPI. C, gross domestic product, GDP. Which one of these options is a well-known indicator of inflation? Let me know in the comments. Santos says number 5 is C. David Conqueror says number 5 is B. Anselm says number 5 is A. Ekundayo says number 5 is A. Olua says number 5 is A. Goodness Akintunde says number 5 is A. Adetayo says number 5 is B. God's Power Thompson says number 5 is A. Success Christopher says number 5 is A. Martinez says number 5 is A. Evans says number 5 is B. Okay. KC says number 5 is C. Good luck, guys. Only one can be correct. Is it non-farm payroll, consumer price index, or gross domestic product? One of these is a well-known indicator of inflation. So good luck. We'll find out the right answer in part 2. Question number 6. Which of these must you consider in setting your risk to reward ratio? Which of these must you consider in setting your risk to reward ratio? A, your favorite currency pair. B, your entry and exit points. C, the session you're trading. Which one of these must you consider in setting your risk to reward ratio? Let me know in the comments. Francis says number 6 is B. Onyeka Paul says number 6 is C. Femi Joshua says number 6 is B. Augustine Ezio Dunwa says number 6 is B. Linus Ugochukwu says number 6 is B. Okay. Olusanya says number 6 is B. Casey says number 6 is B. Ifeanyi Daniel says number 6 is B. Well, good luck, guys. Raymond Daniel says number 6 is B. Find out the right answer in part 2. Which one of these must you consider in setting your risk to reward ratio? I would also explain what risk to reward is in part 2. So just stick around, guys. Question number 7. When two currencies move in the same direction, they are said to be A, positively correlated, B, not correlated, and C, inversely correlated. So what does it mean when two currencies move in the same direction? Let me know in the comment section. Is it positively correlated, or are they positively correlated? Are they not correlated at all, or are they inversely correlated? Let's look at the comments. Francis says number 7 is A. Santos says number 7 is C. Betty Afejuku says number 7 is A. Anselm Arukwe says number 7 is A. Guys, I'm trying so hard to pronounce your names correctly. Beautiful names you guys have there. Bravo says number 7 is C. David says number 7 is A. Grace says number 7 is A. Casey says number 7 is C. Success Christopher says number 7 is A. Abdullah says number 7 is A. Well, only one of these options can be correct, and we'll find out in part 2. So like I said, guys, the first part consists of 10 questions, so make sure you're answering correctly. But at the end of the day, you get to learn, right? So even if your answers are not correct, in the second part, in the second section, you get to understand the correct answers, and I'll also go ahead to explain in detail, why this answer is this and that is that, so that you can understand properly. So at the end of the day, you still learn and get good Forex education. Number 8, which of the following currencies is not included in the US dollar index? So we have 3 options, and just one of these options is not included in the US dollar index. A, Swiss franc. B, Canadian dollar. C, Australian dollar. Which of these currencies is not included in the US dollar index? Let me know your answers in the comments. Evans says number 8 is A. James says number 8 is A. Casey says number 8 is C. Ifai Daniel says number 8 is A. Edim Obim says number 8 is C. Santos says number 8 is A. Chinax says number 8 is A. Femi Joshua says number 8 is C. Casey says number 8 is C. Ibrahim Ahmad says number 8 is C. Dennis says number 8 is C. Well, only one of these options can be correct. I'll review the right answers in part 2, so good luck to every one of you for dropping your answers. Question number 9. Which of the following economic reports sparks the most volatile reactions from the market? Which of the following economic reports sparks the most volatile reactions from the markets? A, CPI. B, NFP. And C, GDP. Let me know the answer in the comments. Godwin says number 9 is B. Abel says number 9 is A. Esther Alex says number 9 is A. Charles says number 9 is A. Ifena says number 9 is C. Emmanuel says number 9 is A. Abraham says number 9 is C. Kinde says number 9 is B. Ekundayo says number 9 is B. Success Christopher says number 9 is B. Miracle Christopher says number 9 is A. Adeshina says number 9 is B. Goodness Akintunde says number 9 is B. Kolapo says number 9 is A. Well, we're almost at the end of the first part, so good luck. So the 10th question, question number 10. So this is going to need a little calculation. But yeah, if you know the answer, just go ahead and type the answer in the comments. So question number 10. If I open a buy order on XAUUSD, which is gold, at 1697.20, and I set a target for 230 pips profit, what would my target price be? A, 1720.20, B, 1674.20, and C, 1727.30. So you can go ahead and do your calculations, and if you know the answers, you can type in the comments as well. Wow, we have the answers coming fast already. Okay, so Ibrahim says number 10 is A. Success Christopher says number 10 is C. Ekundayo says number 10 is A. Abraham Clem says number 10 is C. Einstein says number 10 is C. Kolapo Ojo says number 10 is C. Louis says number 10 is C. Miracle Christopher says number 10 is C. Olusegun Oladosu says number 10 is A. Goodness says number 10 is A. KC Baron says number 10 is B. Alex says number 10 is A. Philip says number 10 is A. Olusanya says number 10 is A. Marvelous Opara says number 10 is C. Well, good luck, guys. This is the last question in the first part. Well, the last question in the live Forex quiz with OctaFX. So we're going to move over to the second part. And remember, the second part is where I show you the questions, reveal the right answers, and also give you guys explanations. So congratulations, guys. We're moving over to part 2. And okay, so if you're ready to see the answers to these questions, go ahead and type ready in the comments. Let's see. If you're ready to see the answers, so we'll finish the first part where I asked you the questions and you give your answers in the comments. So if you're ready to see the right answers, go ahead and type ready in the comments. All right, let's go. So the first question was, in a currency pair, which currency is the counter currency, right? And we had options of, A, both currencies, B, the first currency, and C, the second currency. So which one of these options is the right answer? The correct answer is C, the second currency. I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys an illustration of what a currency pair is, right? So currency pair is like a quotation of two currencies, just like you have your pair of shoes, right? So for you to say a shoe is a pair, it has to be made up of the left foot and the right foot, right? And then you call it a pair of shoe. So that's how currencies are paired. Like you have Euro and you have USD being paired together to form a currency pair, Euro USD, right? And the first currency is the base currency, which is obviously option B, and the second currency is the counter currency, which is USD. That makes USD the correct answer because USD is the second currency in the currency pair, and the counter currency is also known as the quote currency. Also, the base currency is greater in value than the quote currency, which is why it comes first. All right, so the correct answer for number 1 is the counter currency, which was option C. So number 2, to go short in Forex means A. Well, we had options: A, to open or to close an open trade, B, to buy, C, to sell. We had 3 options, obviously, and the correct answer is to sell, right? So these are terms, terminologies used in Forex. We have to go long, and when you're going long in Forex, you're actually buying, right? So if I say I'm going long on Euro USD, that means I'm looking to buy Euro USD. And if I say I'm going short on Euro USD, that means I'm looking to sell Euro USD, right? So to go short in Forex means to sell. So to sell is the correct answer, which is option C. All right. Question number 3. All these are abbreviations for trading indicators except, so we have 3 options and one of these are not abbreviations or is not an abbreviation for a trading indicator. So we have ATR, we have VIP, and we have RSI. And the correct answer to question number 3 is VIP, right? So the ATR indicator is also known as average true range. It's an indicator that was introduced by John Willis Wilder, I think in his book New Concepts in Technical Trading Systems. And this book also includes the RSI, which is the relative strength index that gives you that helps you identify overbought, oversold levels of assets in the foreign exchange market, and the ATR, which, like I said, is called average true range, is a technical indicator that measures the volatility of an asset's price. So the correct answer for number 3 is B, VIP, right? So we have ATR, which I explained, we have RSI, but VIP, very important person. So number 4, Kiwi is the nickname for which currency? A, pound, B, Canadian dollar, or C, New Zealand dollar. 3 options, and the correct answer to number 4 is New Zealand dollar, right? So these are they're like nicknames that we call some currencies. You know, the pound is called the cable, the dollar is called greenback, the Canadian dollar is called loonie. Okay, so the correct answer to question number 4 is New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar, which is option C. So if you got that correctly, congratulations. If you didn't, well, congratulations, you've learned something new today. You've improved your trading knowledge, right? So question number 5. Which of these is a well-known indicator of inflation? Non-farm payroll, NFP, consumer price index, CPI, or gross domestic product, GDP? And the correct answer is consumer price index, right? So guys, NFP is a monthly report, or part of a monthly report, that shows you how many people are employed in the US in, you know, construction sectors, manufacturing, and goods companies, right? And the NFP is an important economic indicator that relates to employment rates in the United States. And GDP, on the other hand, which is gross domestic product, is the total value of goods and services produced in a country over a specific period, regardless of the nationality of the producer, right? So if I am from Nigeria and I produce, or I have products that have been produced in the US, the GDP will be calculated, it will be included in the GDP of the United States, regardless of my nationality, right? And the GDP is used as a key measure of an economy's overall size and health. So the answer for number 5, or to number 5, is consumer price index, which is the CPI. Now, the CPI measures the change in price of goods and services such as housing, clothing, transportation, food, entertainment, medical care, and education. Okay, so the answer is CPI, consumer price index. CPI is what most traders, or the increase in CPI is what most traders or most people think of as the inflation rate. So question number 6, which of these must you consider in setting your risk to reward ratio? Which of these must you consider in setting your risk to reward ratio, right? We have three options: your favorite currency pair, your entry and exit points, or the session you're trading. Now, risk to reward is basically how much you want to risk and how much you want to make in profit from a trade, right? So if you're opening a trade, or if you're opening an order, it's ideal, or it's important that you identify your risk on that trade and how much you want to profit from that trade. And the answer to number 6 is your entry and exit point, right? So your favorite currency pair can be determined through, you know, back testing and practice, right? So when you practice and, you know, practice different currency pairs, you can identify your favorite currency pair, right? See which one works best for you, see which one is very easy for you to analyze, see which one you do really good at, and by really good, you make good profits. You're it's easy for you to, you know, implement strategies that work for you on that currency pair. That can be your favorite currency pair, right? The session you're trading can be determined based on maybe if you have like work hours and you have free time in the Asian session or the New York session. That can be a factor that, you know, influence the session you're trading, right? It could be some other things, right? You could prefer high volatile sessions. You could prefer, you know, just moderate volatile sessions. But your entry and exit point comes down to the trade. That comes down to you opening your trade, like, right? You creating that order. So like I said, risk to reward has to do with opening your trade and being able to identify how much you want to risk and how much you want to make in profit from that trade, and your entry and exit points can help you identify that. Now you'd be wondering, how would your entry and exit point help you identify your risk to reward, or help you set your risk to reward properly? So your exit point is not just your reward. Your exit point can also be your risk, where you tell your broker to stop you out if the trade goes against you, right? That's your exit point. And your exit point can also be your reward, which is where you want your broker to close the trade for you in profit after achieving a certain target. So this is why number 6 is the correct answer, and this is why your entry and your exit point is very key, and it's something you must consider in setting your risk to reward ratio. Every other options are good in trading, but when it comes to setting your risk to reward ratio, your entry and exit points is something you must consider. All right, so question number 7. So when two currencies move in the same direction, they are said to be what? Positively correlated, not correlated, or inversely correlated, right? So they're moving in the same direction. Well, let's look at the answer first. So the answer to question number 7 is option A. They are positively correlated, right? So it's not option B, because I mean, if they're correlated, that means they should be doing the same thing. They should be, you know, relating to the same direction, facing the same direction, right? So not correlated is like the opposite of something going to a certain direction. So when you say it's not going there, or let's say you have two currencies moving in the same direction, and you say they're not correlated, that means they are not moving in the same direction. But the question says when two currencies move in the same direction. And it's not also option C, because, you know, inversely is like opposite or contrary in position or direction, you know. So that's why the answer to question number 7 is A, positively correlated, because they're moving in the same direction. All right, so if you got that correctly as well, congratulations. We're going to move over to question number 8. Which of the following currencies is not included in the US dollar index? Swiss franc, Canadian dollar, Australian dollar. And the correct answer is, let's see, C, Australian dollar, right? So if you don't know what the US dollar index is, the US dollar index is used to measure the value of the dollar against a basket of 6 foreign currencies. And these 6 foreign currencies are the Swiss franc, the Canadian dollar, the euro, the Japanese yen, the pound, you know, the British pound, and the Swedish krona. So Australian dollar is not there. That's why the answer to question 8 is option C, Australian dollar. So if you got that correctly as well, congratulations. We're going to move over to question 9. Okay, which of the following economic reports sparks the most volatile reactions from the market? Which of the following economic reports sparks the most volatile reactions from the markets? CPI, Consumer Price Index, NFP, the non-farm payroll, or GDP? So let's see which of these options are correct. So the correct answer to question 9 is NFP. NFP, the non-farm payroll, right? So like I said earlier, NFP is a monthly report that is related to the employment rate of the US, and the NFP data is important because, you know, first it's released monthly, right? So it makes it a very good indicator of the current state of the economy. And the NFP data, or the NFP report, is a report that is well anticipated by traders every single month, because this report is seen as key to gauging the Fed's monetary policy, and also identifying the strength of the US dollar. Okay, so if you got that correctly, congratulations as well. The correct answer for question 9 is option B. All right, so we're going to the last question right now. Question 10, where you had to do some calculations. So let's see. If I open a buy order on XAUUSD, which is gold, at 1697.20 and or 0.20, and I set a target for 230 pips profit, what would my target price be? So we had option excuse me, so we had option A 1720.20, we had option B 1674.20, and we had option C 1727.30 or 0.30, right? Let's see the correct answer. So the correct answer for number 10 is 1720.20, right? Now, if this was a bit confusing for you, I'm going to give you guys, like, you know, a detailed explanation on the calculations. Give me a second. So if this was a bit confusing, let me just like break this down for you guys a little bit. So we have different ways we calculate different currency pairs, right? We have the typical pairs, which are like pairs that are, you know, or currencies that are paired with the US dollar. We have typical pairs like Euro USD, we have GBP USD, we have AUD USD, and we have Euro CAD, and etc. You know, so for these typical pairs, you start your calculation from the 4th digit after the decimal point, right? So the 4th digit after the decimal point would be 0.0001. That's for 1 pip. Now for JPY pairs, you start your calculation from the 2nd digit after the decimal point, and it's 1 for 1 pip, right? And I'm just going to give you guys like an illustration on how we calculated gold. So if you have 0.1 for 1 pip, then 2 pips would be 0.2, 5 pips would be 0.5, 9 pips would be 0.9, 10 pips you just have to cross over, because I mean, if you don't cross over and you just say 0.10, then it's still going to be the same formula for 1 pip, right? So for 10 pips you cross over, you cross 1 over, and then you have 1.0. For 13 pips you'd have 1.3. You know, 20 pips would be 2.0, 50 pips would be 5.0, 100 pips would be 10.0, and 200 pips would be 20.0, right? So remember the question, guys. Remember the question. So the buy order was opened at 1697.20, and the profit target was set for 230 pips, right? Now, this illustration is very important, guys, especially if you're a beginner, a forex trading beginner. So for the buy orders to identify, let me just use my cursor to show you guys. So for buy orders to identify your profit, you have to add the amount of pips, and to identify your risk, you have to subtract the amount of pips from the entry price. For sell orders, you're doing the opposite. So to identify your profit, you have to subtract the amount of profit of pips from your entry price, and to identify your risk, you have to add the amount of pips to your entry price. So question number 10 had to do with, or in question number 10, you were setting your profit targets for 230 pips, and it was a buy order. So what do you do to identify your profit? You add, right? So we're just going to use the same formula that I showed you guys right here, right? So formula for 200 pips, I said it was 20.0. So 230 pips would be 23.0, right? So we're just going to apply that same formula to the entry price. And since it's a profit target, we are going to be adding. So if you do this calculation at your own time, you would get 1720.20, right? So 0, 2, 7, 3, you get 10, you add 1, you have 11 plus that 1, you have 2, and then you add the 1 from the 12 here, and then, you know, this is just like basic mathematics I just did for you guys right now. But at your own time, you can just practice this. This video is also going to be saved on the OctaFX official YouTube channel, and that's how we got 1720.20 as the answer for number 10. So guys, we've come to the end of this amazing OctaFX live Forex quiz, and the floor is open for questions. We've moved to the section for Q&A session, where if you have questions, you can ask your questions in the comment section, and I'll go ahead to answer your question. So if you have questions, go ahead and type your questions in the chat box or the comments, and I would go ahead to answer your questions. John says, thanks to OctaFX, God bless. Thank you. Olusanya says, thanks for the beautiful educational live section, OctaFX. Edim, thanks a lot, Ambrose. Abdullah says, what is fundamental analysis? So I'll just give you like layman definition, right? So fundamental analysis just has to do with trading the news, right? You're trading based on the reports from economical events that are happening in a country. And remember, you're trading currencies, right? And you know, the economy of a country would surely have an impact on the domestic currency of that country. So fundamental analysis just involves looking at the economic reports from these currencies and identifying the strength and weakness of, you know, two different currencies that will give you an idea of which currency to buy or which currency to sell. So I hope I answered your question, Abdullah. We need a trading session for newcomers to understand how to trade on OctaFX. So there's a private Forex trading workshop, OctaFX Forex trading workshop coming up. You can check the OctaFX website, you know, the webinars and education section of the OctaFX official website to take part in the Forex workshop. Does the news change technical structures? Yes, it does. It also depends on the news. So if you're having a high impact news like the NFP just brings this huge volatility to the markets, and you know, oftentimes it makes a move to a different direction and probably continues in the direction of the trend after like 2 days, after 1 day, after some hours. So yes, the news influences technical structures. Okay, I'm just going to take one more question. is CPI every month like NFP? No, CPI is not every month like NFP. Now, OctaFX has an economic calendar on the OctaFX website, octafx.com. You can check the economic calendar and identify when exactly the CPI will be released in your country's time zone. All right, last question. What is the best time frame to trade on as a beginner? So I'm not going to say that there's the best time frame to trade on, but I'll just tell you that it's important to consider, you know, higher time frames down to like 15 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes time frame. It's important to consider, regardless of your trading style, if you're a scalper, a swing trader, position trader, it's important that you just look at the higher time frames, and then you can find your entries on the lower time frames. If you're a scalper, you can look at 15 minutes or 5 minutes, but it's important that you just look at the charts from the higher time frame and do like a top to bottom analysis. Just do like a top down analysis on what exactly is going on the higher time frames of that particular asset, right? Because there can be a lot of noise on the lower time frames, but if you go to the higher time frames like the daily, the 4-hour time frame, the weekly time frame, everything just becomes smooth. You see a clear identification of the trend. Okay, so that was the last question, and thank you guys for taking part in the live forex quiz with OctaFX. Do well to hit the like button and subscribe, and also check the description for other OctaFX webinars. The winner will be announced in the comments a couple of days after this quiz, so you can check back to identify, or to know if you're the winner of the live forex quiz with OctaFX. Thank you guys for joining, and I'll see you next time.